Okay, ladies and germs, it's time for week 5 update of the FJ62 restoration. I'm going to try and look in the camera more, as it looks like I'm other videos of just not interested in you, and that's totally not the case. So this week, what did we do? We cut away some of the bad metal that was there up at the roof at the rear. All this rust appears to have been caused by the accident. I don't know if it's actually that the body shop removed the seam sealer, or maybe the seam sealer separated from the body panel because of the impact. But what ended up happening is the moisture got behind the seam sealer into the body seam there and started to rust, and it really just ran the seam probably, I don't know, 3 feet, and where it got the earliest penetration is where the rust was highest above and below. So in many cases I'm having to cut back 3 or 4 inches of metal on either side because the rust was so deep in that area. But that's not too bad, because a lot of that is actually under the roof cap, and I removed a part of that roof cap to be able to access this, because to really fix it properly you're going to need direct access to it. You're not going to be able to weld up underneath and so on and so forth. Plus there's that old sound deadening material that's up glued to the roof, that's all shredded old linen, it looks like. It's essentially what you would get out of your lint filter in your dryer. So it is like super flammable. It tried to even catch on fire from me grinding off or cutting off the piece with the angle grinder. Anyway, I'll stop jabbering here and let's move on to show you what the truck looks like right now. Okay, first is all this has been repaired. Oh, did I mention I have a rotisserie? Yeah, I got a rotisserie now, which is like so freaking nice. I built that this week too. Major pain in the ass to build, but wow, is it an awesome thing to have. So there were several holes through this. These body lines are a little shallow in some places, but remember, before we do anything with any kind of paint, once all the sheet metal is done, I'm going to grind back a lot of the paint and everything. This is going into a paint booth, and it's going to be shot with 2K epoxy primer, which is fantastic stuff. It will, anything that's the epoxy primer's on, pretty much will never rust again unless you go in there and you sand it off. And it's hard to sand off, by the way. So that's the lower part of the rear cargo. A lot of this was just eaten away. Look at some of the earlier videos, you'll see just how bad this whole area was down here. Also, above it, pretty bad, but look, we're starting to get some metal. Let me just rotate this, because it's on a rotisserie. I mentioned it's on a rotisserie? It's on a rotisserie. Yeah, so recreated some of these lines, and now look at this bad boy. All the way up here. So all this, I need to grind that down. Those are still, clean that up. But look at all this. Nice, new, clean, shiny metal. So let me stand back here and you can see, if I don't trip and break my neck, all the other crap I have in here. We have a full-fledged, non-rusty driver's side rear cargo window. How nice is that? Now what's left to do? I still have to go in here and rebuild this piece, coming around here, this corner. That's really not going to be terrible. Just take it piece by piece. I'll get a dolly here, and I'll build myself a nice little corner here. Tack it in there. Now remember, this doesn't have to be, absolutely factory perfect stuff, because a lot of this, it's not bad, but if you can just see, there's just a little where these two panels meet. One is about a 0.5 millimeter below the other one. That's okay, because we're going to be spraying this with high build primer. There's going to be lots of blocking. The main thing is we got to get it really, really close, because you don't want to use a bunch of Bondo or body filler and then sand that back, because that stuff just that's really just that's skim coat. You just want to put a very little bit of that on there, very as little as possible. So we're going to rebuild that. Here, let me show you my rotisserie I built here. I got a video too, but I didn't know how awesome these things were. I knew everybody wanted one, and I considered spending the money, but damn, this thing is the shit. Alright, so that's what we did this week. I won't show you all the other stuff. This is week 5. She's coming along. Alright. I guess not a whole lot to talk about, but that's where we are. It's getting there. Slow and steady wins the race. Alright, guys and girls, if you got any questions, let me know.